Ash here for Blaze TV2. The Elite Series is well underway now, and we're going to try and bring you as much content as possible. So today we are joined by British defenceman David Clements. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Nice to see you.
No problem. So David, obviously want to get straight into it. You were given the A for this series. You're a Cov lad. The fans are really happy with that. I think we're all a bit proud of you, to be fair. How did you find out that you were going to be the A?
Wow, not I didn't expect it, to be honest. It was just on practice last week. I think it was on Tuesday practice, and Stewie came up to me at the end of practice and just said, "You, Feds and V are going to be assistant captains for this series." So, obviously super happy to be given that opportunity. I've grew up in Coventry and watched the Blaze for a long time, and I think I've matured a lot as a player the last few years, and I've always had those leadership skills. So I'm happy to help some of the younger guys during the Elite Series and be a leader for the new guys in the team.
Well, before we discuss the games you've played so far, week 1 of the bubble's done. Lots of testing. You're back training with the Blaze. You're back training with Danny Stewart. What's it been like behind closed doors hockey?
Well, for myself, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, playing in the Spring Cup for 6 weeks with Telford, there was no fans in there, and just when you play, obviously you kind of miss the buzz with the fans. Something happens, scoring a goal or anything like that, the fans do make a huge difference. So we do miss them a lot, but at the end of the day, we just got to suck it up and get on with it, because we're playing hockey again, and we're very lucky to be playing hockey again. And if that means with no fans, it's we just have to suck it up. So it's not too bad. And I think some of the other guys maybe are a bit, it's a bit weird for them, I'm sure. But like I said, I think we've adapted to it quickly, and it hasn't affected us playing so far.
So we played against Nottingham in the warm-up game the other night. 6-1 loss. Do you think that was a good thing, in a way, getting out the kinks and learning about each other?
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, even after the game, guys were, nobody likes losing, even if it's a friendly in the first game. And, even after 4 days of being with each other, we didn't like losing, but it was good for us. We watched a lot of video on that game and kinked out the mistakes that we made. And we were in that game for quite a long time, but it's really good. And we were very fortunate to have that game to be able to iron out those kinks that we had. We had a lot of big mistakes. It gave Stewie and Keno the chance to run through some video with us and show us, exactly how they wanted us to play in the D zone. And, fixing those mistakes were huge. And I think it really helped. And at the weekend, we played 2 really solid games.
Yeah, the Manchester game, we went 2-0 down, but watching it, you always felt like we were in it. The guys just kept doing the same things, and we ended up pulling it back and could have won it in the last couple of seconds. So on the bench, what was the feeling during the game?
Yeah, we were fine because, like you just said, we had plenty of chances that game. I mean, we came out in the second period, and I don't think we left their D's. We were in the offensive zone for the first 5 minutes, and we had chances left, right, and centre. Their goalie made some really good saves. But one thing, we try to stress to the new guys is that, especially in the Blaze, and the season that we've just come off, that we don't give up. And it showed on Saturday, pushing there in the third period and getting a late goal. And it just the morale on the bench afterwards was unreal, and it kind of hurt to lose in overtime. But we took that positive energy into yesterday, and I thought for 60 minutes we absolutely dominated that game, and it was really good to see the guys kind of stick together and see the kinks have been ironed out early. And really happy with everyone for the first 2 games.
As a player, can you enjoy the 3-on-3 overtime?
Well, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, because not too used to it, but I got a chance to get out there, and it's nerve-wracking. It's 3-on-3, and especially in Nottingham, there's so much space on that ice. Anything can happen. I mean, there's some quick boys that would love to play on the big ice in 3-on-3, and I'm not sure how it feels for a goalie, but we made some big saves. And it's just unlucky. It's one of them. Overtime, 3-on-3 in a shootout, it can go either way. But we were really happy to fight back and get a point in that game.
Yeah, I think it was a great point to get, and I think that put us well for last night's game against Nottingham. I mean, we won that game in the first period over 3-0. Just lights out. Whistle was outstanding. I mean, it could have been 5-6 early on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, it could have been 5 or 6 in the first period. But we came in after the first and we regrouped, and we said that we really want to focus on our D zone. That's something on the on that 6-1 loss against Nottingham that we really wanted to focus on, was our D zone and defending well and defending hard, being in right shape. And that's something that Stewie and Keno really stressed to us in the first and second intermission. And I think we did that for 40 minutes. It's just, one little bad bounce of the third period got them back into it for a brief, 5 minutes. But on the whole, I thought, Owie, all of the D and the forwards as well in the D zone, we defended well as a 5, and really happy with the D zone so far.
From those first 2 games, something quite noticeable is you're getting yourself in a lot more goal-scoring opportunities. Is this something from your time in Telford, or I know Danny Stewart mentioned that he was going to give you more situational minutes during this tournament. Are you trying to add a new dimension to your game?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, to be honest, I've always had that offensive, mind since a young age. But with me, and I think it kind of resembles with a lot of other players too, that a lot of the game is mental and having confidence. And I think I've just kind of reached that point where I'm mentally ready and confident to be able to get up in those situations and make those plays. Stewie has a lot of confidence in me, and if I do make those mistakes, he's not bashing me for them. So it just gives me that confidence to be able to get up into the play. Be that second wave with forwards where I can get some shots on net, create some scoring chances. And definitely playing in Telford, on the power play and everything like that has given me, that offensive edge that I've been missing for a while. But I didn't want to come into this elite series and just go back to, being a just strictly defensive minded defenseman. I want to show, both sides to my game, to try and help the team win, but also to try and help me in, come May time, that I'm up there in the selections for GB possibly. So it's good to show both sides of my game, but obviously I'm a D man, so I've got to focus on the D side of the puck first. But any time I can chip in on offense, I think I will.
Well, you've already mentioned that the fans can't be in the rink currently, so it's a different situation. So as fans, we can't really get a true feel of the new guys, if I can class them. The 4 imports who've not played in Britain to current, they've all come across with good, solid young careers so far. How have them guys settled into the organisation, and have they stood out to you on the ice?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first guy I noticed was Max, the D-man Max. He, in practice, the first practice we had, we were playing some D-zone, and he must have hit 10 guys, and our own guys. He was just playing body. So he's a really physical presence. And I think playing in that Norwegian league, he's not maybe used to playing the body as much where he'd had to here. So he's adapted really well so far. And also Eddie too, it's more of a possession game in Norway. So it will take a little bit of time for him to adapt, but you can see the talent that kid has, like his hands and his skating. He's going to be a serious talent, and he's only 22. And obviously Keck and Jermaine coming from college programs, they adapt quickly. Keck, he flies. He's a quick boy. And Jermaine, he's a good player too, both coming from good college programs. So they fit in really well so far. And we have a good core group of boys here at the Blaze, with me, Heads, Forbes, EV, Feds when he comes, so that they fit in really well. And I think they feel comfortable already. So really impressed with them all so far.
You mentioned there on Max Cogdale and his D partner, Nikolai Benishven, who's back with the club for the tournament. He's come in and hit the ground running. And then we've added Shane Owen in as well, who he's been a bugbear to Blaze fans for the last few years when he's been in Fife and Belfast. How good is it having these two guys on the ice for you?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, going back to a few years ago, Nico was, our top producing defenseman. Not only offensively, but he also adds that grit in the D zone. He's very physical and he's good with his stick, and he's tough to play against. And that's something that we need. And obviously having Owie back there, I mean, that guy, obviously playing against him, you know that he's good, but once he's on your side, I mean, some of the saves he made yesterday, it was ridiculous. And he's a great guy too. So really lucky to have Owie and to have Nikolai back as well.
And going back to yourself, David, I think this is the year for you to try and get into that GB setup. So that is in the back of your mind, and you're hopefully going on the plane.
Yeah, of course. It's been on my mind for a while now. I think I've made the right steps in the off season and lockdown to give myself as good of a chance as I could get. Obviously, the hockey situation's been tough this year, but yeah, it is kind of a showcase, this Elite Series, for that GB camp, and but at the same time, I'm just trying to focus on finding some consistency within my game to play as well as I can every night, and helping the team win first and foremost. We're there to win. I'm not using it as just a GB camp and put on a show for myself. I want to win with Coventry and win the Elite Series. So whatever comes after that will come, and I've just got to focus on playing my best and playing well for the team. So,
well, we're definitely all rooting for you, mate. So best wishes with that one. That's it for today's episode of Blaze TV 2. Hope to see you all soon.